Woodpeckers are exciting birds to watch at feeders, but this fella, the red-bellied, is especially fun and full of character, providing much entertainment. An awesome thing is that not only have their numbers increased over the recent years, they have also been expanding their range. Surprising backyard birders thought to not be in their location. So if you are in an area they have been spotted before and want a chance at seeing one of these beauties in your garden, then I'm happy to tell you that it is extremely easy to attract them when things are set up in the right way. This is largely due to the variety of foods you can offer red-bellied woodpeckers. Setting out all or a few of them will up your chances of piquing their interest, so long as you live close to a wooded area. Something to keep in mind when putting out food for any bird is that mimicking what they eat in the wild is required. As with most woodpeckers, the red-bellied eats primarily insects, so putting out mealworms, alive or dried, can get their attention. That isn't the only thing, though, that can mimic animal protein and fat. Many woodpeckers happily gorge on suet cakes too, either store-bought or homemade, especially over the winter. Suet cages work perfectly for these outgoing characters. To give any woodpecker species the best experience, I've always found it better to go for ones that have a tail prop, since naturally they use their tail to lean on for support as they forage. This isn't necessary though, as they will use ones without it just fine. If you want to go for a more natural feel, feeders that use suet plugs can work well. One cool thing about these is that you don't have to buy them, as it's easy and cheap to create your own DIY suet log, which will provide an even more irresistible wild setting for red-bellied woodpeckers. In nature, they also consume plenty of plant sources, especially over fall and winter, things like acorns, nuts, pine cones, and fruits. This means that you are not limited to offering just mealworms or suet. Foods like hulled sunflower seeds, black oil sunflower, safflower, peanut hearts, pecans, corn, and orange slices are all things that can be put out to attract these birds. These foods I mentioned can easily be set out in a dish or on a platform or a large hopper feeder that can support this flashy woodpecker. One other thing that they like is nectar water. This can be put out in a dish or oriole feeder, though they have been spotted drinking from hummingbird feeders, which is possible thanks to a long tongue that when stuck out is nearly 2 inches past the tip of its beak. Sugar water is easy enough. It just requires 4 parts hot water to help remove any impurities to 1 part white sugar. Mix it up and let it cool before setting it out. Make sure to clean the feeder at least every couple of days, sooner if the weather is really warm. Another sweet option you can offer is grape jelly, as they are known to sometimes eat the jelly set out for orioles. You can purchase jelly or make your own. Keep in mind, though, to stay away from artificial sweeteners, colors, and flavors. It's important to note that when providing jelly, you should keep watch for any mold and always clean the feeder out, providing fresh stuff if the jelly looks questionable. Not able to put out feeders? Don't sweat it. You can still draw them in if there are fruiting trees present, such as hackberries, hawthorn, mountain ash, oak, or pine. Red-bellies may come by to forage on them over fall and winter, which in my opinion is so much better, because you are seeing them in a more wild circumstance, getting to witness some of their natural feeding strategies, or the interesting behavior of sometimes storing food away for times when it's more scarce, like in winter. Leaving dead trees if you can is another great natural way to have them show up, as they love to forage for beetle larvae inside. If you are really lucky, going this route could encourage a red-bellied woodpecker pair to stay past spring, if they decide to use the dead stands for nesting. As a bonus, do you want to know one good thing about providing food naturally or in feeders and leaving dead trees up? Minimizing woodpeckers from targeting your home in search of places to nest or looking for hidden insects within your siding. So given you have a misbehaving woodpecker, you might want to consider those harmless solutions. If you found yourself wondering why it's called the red-bellied woodpecker and not the red-headed woodpecker, you can find the answer plus much more on this animated bird in this full overview video. Until next time, happy birding!